At this period of time, Johnny Carson was one of my favorite talk show hosts and very charismatic. His monologue is as good as any today it's ever been. And he was the king of late night TV, but he liked to drink, and when he drank, he got a little out of hand, as we all do. I can sympathize. I have done that myself in my earlier and especially in my darker years. I'm not judging him. He was a tremendous ball breaker. And there was a particular woman, very good looking, with a couple of her friends that dated a very prominent guy that the government would call organized crime or a boss of a family. At this particular time, Johnny Carson was inebriated and he kept making passes and bothering her. And she said, you should really, this is a Patsy's, she told me you should stop. She moved. He came. He kept going. What his intentions were, I can't tell you. When there's a lot of liquor involved, no matter have the best intentions, just came out wrong, as it can do. So the call came. The guy was on his way. The two guys with him knew this guy was going to lose his mind. The ethics and morals of people of that era were very protective over women and children, the elderly, the handicapped, the challenged, as I am. It's instilled in me as a child. Not saying that women are weak as sex. I'm not saying these people can't do it, but you should be respectful just by the virtue of you should be respectful. And then tolerate it. So he was on his way. He didn't want to go. They threw him down the stairs. And this guy arrives and he hears the story and he's outraged. He says, when I get my hands on him, I'm going to break his neck. I believe he went to NBC and he was very upset. I mean, he wasn't screaming, but, you could see it in his eyes, and they were serious people about disrespecting any women or children around them, especially women. And Patsy's really wasn't a bar. It was a restaurant. So, if it happened at a discotheque, you could say, follow? So she wasn't putting it out there, and he shouldn't have been acting like she was. Johnny Carson goes on a phrase on the lam. That's hiding. He hides in a place in New Jersey, a motel. But he can't do the show, and Ed McMahon's doing more and more shows. And later he became very popular. Very nice man, by the way. Ed McMahon became a very close friend and ally of the Italian-American Civil Rights League. Cy Kravitz, who was a producer, who married Roxy Roca, who had Lenny Kravitz, was very close with my father, to a gentleman named Vincent Bingo. He brings him. NBC saying, we got this great show, Joe, with Ed McMahon. Could you help us? He says, okay. So he goes and talks to the guy. The guy's upset. He says, I don't know. This guy was out of order. I don't care if he's Johnny Carson or Johnny Appleseed. I'm breaking his face. So he says, who's he to talk like that? So my father calmed him down. He says, listen, there'll be an apology. He says, well, he can't come to New York anymore. Well, all right, we'll do that. So my father brokers the deal that Johnny Carson moves the show to California. He can do the show. Nobody will ever bother him again. But when he comes to New York, he's got to get permission. He can't come around people's women and children. They can come for the upfronts. That's why he used to come and leave. Johnny was okay with that. He got a better suntan, looked better for his monologue. And that's how that story goes.